Hello, my name is Ivan Watson, and I would like to take the time to talk to you about how to protect yourself during the time as we're going through a rise in COVID 19 again. One of the main suggestions from the CDC has been to social distance and wear a mask, and we all kind of know about that. But I want to take the time to emphasize on how to wear a mask properly. I'm going to cover what you should do before applying your face mask. I'm going to also cover how to wear the face mask properly when you're out in public. And I'm also going to talk about when returning home from work, your day out of wearing your mask, and what to do properly, how to remove your mask properly without contaminating yourself or putting yourself at in the harm's way of COVID. Let's start with the how one should what you should do before putting on your mask. The first thing that the CDC does recommend is that we start off with washing our hands with either antibacterial soap. If you don't have that, use any soap that you can get your hands on. Soap. I wash my hands and make sure I do that nice and thoroughly. And this is all the application before you actually put your mask on, before you leave outside the house. Get a proper washing of your hands, almost like a nice doctor scrub. That way, you know your hands aren't contaminated with anything before you actually touch your mask. Properly wash them. Bam. Now, for those that also want to go a step above, it does recommend, the CDC does recommend maybe using some antibacterial soap, which we have a little here. Well, just the antibacterial disinfectant cream that I use. So now my hands are disinfected, washed, and clean. Now, what you should do before placing your mask on, the proper way to actually touch your mask without touching the face cover is by the rings. Now, the CDC also does recommend that we go with masks that don't have vent systems created in them. Something like this. So these aren't the proper masks that they definitely don't recommend that we wear out, because this vent is going to allow a lot of air passage out where you can get cross-contamination breathing. But these are the two masks that I normally choose to wear when I go out. So you want to handle with the mask by the earrings. Check to see if the mask has any holes that have been damaged, needs to be replaced, or anything. Now, on these surgical masks, you want the wire side to go on your nose, on the bridge of your nose. I have glasses, I have to remove mine. Make sure the mask is on your face, covering your nose and your chin. Still only trying to use the earrings. Now, I go for double protection. I use my surgical mask cover, which is on my nose, properly covering my face and my chin. That's a recommendation of the CDC. And then I go on with there's nothing wrong with doubling up. Try to avoid touching the mask by the face mask once it's on. You're prepared to leave the house. Now, when you're outside traveling around, now let's talk about how to wear the mask and keep the mask on properly when you're out. As you see, I'm not wearing the mask below my nose, nor is the mask under my chin. To properly wear your mask out in public, it needs to be covering over your nose and your chin to properly have the proper coverage. Make sure that you can breathe easily. That is the main part and wearing a mask out in public. Make sure that we can breathe properly and function. Now let's move on to what to do when you come home from out wearing your mask, taking care of your business. What you should do when you come home, you should wash your hands because you don't know if your hands are contaminated. You don't want to use your contaminated hands to remove the mask, so you wash your hands again. Repeat the same process of putting it back on. Dry the hand. Now this step, some should use a recommendation from the CDC to use gloves to also protect yourself from cross-contamination, because you don't know if your mask has picked up any contaminants as you've been out in the day. As you're removing it, putting your gloves on. Sorry, I'm not that great with gloves. Trying to go a little fast. I'm just going to go like that because I'm not that great. And you still want to remove the mask by the ear loops. Not touching the face mask or the shield. Using your gloves and placing your mask in a secure area. That is how you properly remove your mask when you get home. Hopefully, with these steps, you can be a little more protected as you go out and you face your day dealing in the pandemic of COVID-19. Especially with the cases rising and deaths going up. We should all be a little more prepared to protect ourselves and know how to properly protect ourselves. So this is why I wanted to take the time and emphasize on how to properly put the mask on and properly take it off. Maybe people are contaminating their own selves and protecting themselves. And if we can learn how to do this step by step the right way, we can all benefit from a speedy recovery from COVID. Thank you.